Hi and welcome to this week's energy forecast. I am Rachael Phillips, the creator of the BU Oracle cards, and this week's energy forecast is for May the 28th through till June the 3rd. So this week we have got an extra card here. You're probably wondering, because you usually always know me to do a 3-card spread, but we have a jumping card, which also brings into the point of this week's theme. So this week the jumping card is illusion, and that's a card that says break through illusions and rediscover a new you. So this week's overall theme is about unleashing your authentic self, and we'll go through and have a look at how that unfolds. Monday and Tuesday is the energy card. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of empowerment, and Saturday and Sunday is the card of femininity. So let's start with the jumping card. For people that doesn't know what a jumping card is when you are shuffling the deck and a card jumps out. The meaning behind that is your soul has been trying to communicate a message to you that you may not have heard, or you've dismissed, or just sort of, just completely pushed it underneath the rug and thought nothing more of it. Well, this week your soul is saying, hey, take a very big notice of this message that we're sending to you. So with it being about embracing and bringing to light your authentic self, that means that it's about going through and breaking through some of these illusions that you've put in front of you. So there could be elements around, this card definitely is about letting yourself be seen, letting yourself show up being the real you. And that can be so very, very, very daunting to do. And I don't want to dismiss that in any way, shape or form. If you've had a part of yourself that has been hiding for a while, then it is going to be a little bit daunting and a little bit uncertain. But guess what? That's only ever at the beginning. So breaking through the illusions is about getting rid of all of those excuses, those stories, those things that you've used in the past, which have probably been for a defense mechanism, for a protection mode to protect you from hurt and harm. But the energy is shifting so beautifully at the moment where it's now safe for you to show up and let yourself be seen with all your quirks and perks, because that's what it's all about. It's not trying to show up and think that you're perfect and you've got everything worked out. I mean, let's get real. That doesn't happen. We're humans. We have these amazing qualities within our own self, and we also have these quirks and perks that aren't quite well as developed as we would like them to be, but they all make up the beautiful being that is you, and that is what is important. It's about just learning to just show up and letting yourself be seen. So that's our overall theme. And how does that play out? So it's going to be important to be incredibly mindful of where you're distributing your energy. Are you giving your energy away to certain people or certain situations that are really not all of that conducive to the person that you're growing into and the direction that you want to go in? It's also about being mindful of taking care of your own energy. So there's a bit of a self-care quality that comes in, because when we start showing up and letting ourselves be seen, there's going to be that real vulnerability, which you can see really pops up come Wednesday through till Friday. So it means that, those moments when you have those feelings of vulnerability coming up, just to be okay with that energy. Be okay that there is a more softer side of yourself that's wanting to be revealed. Be okay that you want to take some of that energy and time that you're giving in certain areas that are not really as beneficial as you thought they would have or could be, and you're taking that back now, and you're taking your own power back, and you're going to distribute it in different places. So this is a time to always be checking in with your energy levels and just see where you're at. Our energy is a really good way to see if something is working for us. Like if you're doing something and all of a sudden you just notice, or that you're around certain people and all of a sudden you start noticing that your energy is declining, that's a very big indicator to you from your soul that is communicating through you intuitively into your physical body to let you know, hey, this is not really quite the match that you thought it would be. So it could be giving you an extra additional bit of insight into be able to just take a step back and ask yourself, if this is where you're channeling your energy and you are noticing that it's depleting you rather than uplifting you and filling you up, then it's about those choices which will bring up this level of vulnerability, that when we go and make decisions and we start doing something new, it's scary. You know, there's no point pretending or thinking that it's not going to be scary when you go and do something new. But as I said at the very beginning, it only happens at the start point, and then after a little while you will get used to it. So let yourself be seen. Let that vulnerability come up, that if all of a sudden you're starting to, you know, maybe stand up for yourself or choose a different direction and people question you, know that those feelings are going to come up in your body that make you feel really nervous and maybe a little bit anxious. But there's also a quality there that's exciting, but it's also okay to share that, you know, you're going to start doing things new and it's a little bit scary. It's okay to reveal that. It's not a sign of weakness. It really does take a great deal of courage to allow this aspect of self, of this sensitive level of vulnerability to come through. And that is also a part of letting yourself be seen. Showing up, showing that level of vulnerability, that's also what makes you real. And this is where it's really important. It's not about the fake and the falseness, the crap that's out there. It's about the real and the raw. You know, and sometimes that's just not pretty, but it doesn't mean that it's not real, and it doesn't mean that it's not honest. And that's where it's about changing those beliefs that we have around about vulnerability, which will then allow us on the weekend to really bring that into gear, because it's about that feminine, like connecting into that feminine, but not feminine, but through that softness, being more gentler with yourself as you're stepping out and letting yourself be seen. Be gentle and not be so harsh and so critical on yourself. That's where it gets really exciting, because everything up into your life right at this moment has been pretty much planned, and you know how it's going to unfold, and you want to know how you're going to be. Now all of a sudden that you move in a completely uncharted territory, you don't know how it's going to be, and it could work out a million times better than what you ever expected. So this is where we need to drop those high expectations, that harshness, internal conversations that we have with ourselves, and just be okay with being okay. And this is where it becomes very, very cool. Because on Monday I put out a post that says, it said, you being you is your own superpower. The world is needing each and every one of us to just show up and be our own selves, breaking through those illusions. And you know, that level of just being okay with accepting every part of your own self. You know, we as humans, we're so incredibly critical of ourselves. We judge ourselves. We, you know, judge ourselves against other people about what they have, who they are, what they're doing, what we don't have. And it's time to let all of that go and just let yourself be okay with who you are right now, because from that moment on, then you can decide what you want to do. But if you are living your life that is based on all of these must-dos, should-dos, have-tos, and mirroring yourself against other people, what you're denying is actually allowing yourself to see the amazing qualities. Because you know what? Every single person that is put on this earth has an amazing skill, a gift to share with this world. And now, and that's not just in the business sector, and it's not just in health and wellness and blah, blah, blah. It's in everything, you know. Being a great mom is amazing. Being a great dad is amazing. Being a great grandparent, being a great nurturer, being a great friend. They're all things about showing up. It's not just, most people sort of think this is all around the connotations of, you know, success in business and the goals and dreams. Yes, definitely. But it's also about letting yourself be seen and seeing that some of the greatest, we need great mums, we need great dads, we need great everyone, and every single person is gifted with something that is truly amazingly unique, that is designed with you in mind. So the world doesn't need you to replicate someone else. What it needs is for you to replicate only being you. And that is how you give to this world, is by just showing up and being your own self. And that is the greatest gift that you could ever give to your own self, because this is that moment where you step into that light and you really, I don't want to make it sound like it's this real forceful, like showing up like, yeah, here I am. And it's not like that. It's about just stepping forward and just moving out of that light, out of the dark shadows, and moving in towards that light of just letting yourself be seen with all your quirks and perks and all your imperfections, because you know what, you're imperfectly perfect, and that is what the world needs, is just for you to be you. So this is an incredibly exciting moment. So be gentle, be kind with yourself. Goodness me, like even have a freaking joke with your own self, because there'll be some times that you show up and you're like, wow, now I didn't really know that about myself, so this is new for me. And that's where you can have a little bit of a laugh with your own self, because you're going to be discovering new amazing things about yourself that you may have even forgotten about, or completely dismissed altogether because you thought it was irrelevant, or that you shouldn't be that certain way because of your age. Let all of those limitations go and just let every part of yourself be seen, because now is the time. The world is wanting every single one of us just to show up. Fake and falseness, those days are long gone. People want real, raw and honest, and that means just being you, and nothing else in this world matters besides you just being you. So I hope you have an incredibly amazing week. Remember, the jumping card is a very, very significant message, which is to break through your own illusions and rediscover a new you. That is exactly what this week is all about. So have a fabulous week. Much love to you all, and take care. And if this is something that you feel that could really help someone else, please feel free to share. Take care.